right, let us begin. Yes, indeed. So, um, my end, I've been doing a lot of patron work, some DD work as well. A lot of that's still in like documents on my desktop. Um, but a majority of the patrons are now on World Anvil. So, I only have the Titan, Undead, Undying, and Worm patrons to go. So I'm like really close to getting them all up on World Anvil. Um, I have also updated all of the sub origins to be of more appropriate power level. So those should all be freely usable now. No issues there. Um, so that's pretty good. Um, also, Legacy's not here. Probably held up at work. So there are particular things to discuss. Not something that can happen at this point in time. But they did mention about holidays coming up, and uh, obviously, the 25th of December. No need for a meeting then. I mean, I was going to mention it when we got closer, but you know, it's Christmas, so I'm not gonna be around, and I imagine other people will not be around. Um, Speaking on the 27th, which is in 2 weeks from now, that is Thanksgiving weekend. I imagine people will probably not be around either, so consider that day also a no meeting day. And I'll post these in scheduling so people can have a reminder that these are not occurring. Um, Additionally to all that good stuff, let's see here. I've been working on some new feats. Going to be putting some of them up probably tomorrow or the next day. So that should be some fancy new stuff. And overall, other than that, a lot of it's just been like more work in progress towards the bestiary and the equipment guide. So that's my big update on my end. So a lot of progress. A lot of it's still work in progress, but there's some stuff available that people can now look at. Um, some of those patrons that I have made very well may not be patrons in the near future because my players may or may not kill Malrathis, so we'll find out.
Tell your players to stop killing God so you don't have to have this problem every time.
Well, I mean, he is a very intelligent individual and he has some backup plans. Um, so I don't think it's going to be a thing, but just in case they do kill him, uh, it's fine. That's one of the reasons why for that particular patron type, I have three instead of two, simply because I know one of them might die. Mm-hmm. Um, Other than that, anything anyone would like to bring up? That's my easy clap, quick meeting update.
Uh, Honestly, we just have to finish the table before we can calendars go off the road. But honestly,
Mm-hmm.
with us still waiting for a concrete date and RP events needing to get all the stuff fully together, it's not a huge priority right now.
Yeah, until we're in the land of like a month out from official launch, or even like 2 months out, some of the more intricate things they are not like a focus. So
Once we get like closer to the launch date, I'll start making all the tokens for the monsters so that RP events can just grab them and go.
mm-hmm.
And that'll be easier on them. But at this point in time, I've streamed 80 hours this week and I'm exhausted.
Fair, fair. That's a lot of streaming. Speaking of monsters, though, I really should start sending my tokens, my stat sheets onto the Google Drive. 'Cause
Uh,
the bestiary is
the,
getting
the
beefy.
the biggest thing was it's just like I don't want to like do the stat sheet for it because it's you just grab the token and change it.
Yeah,
Especially since clearly at first we're only going to five, and the GMs and DMs should have the monster sheet up for when they do stuff.
Hmm.
So you can easily like eyeball it and be fine.
Yeah. I mean, the tokens themselves tend to have the stat sheet on mine anyway, so
Yeah.
it's fine. Um, good stuff, good stuff. Let's see. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting that I have updated? Um, no, that's looking fine. That's up to date. I think I'm just being a big old banana and forgetting something, but maybe I'm not. Oh yes, I remember now. Some of the languages, like the links to translators I have for some of the languages, they don't work anymore. So I've been
Hmm.
working on my own. I've been working on one for Goblin. So at some point, expect a custom language generator.
And we make goblin Irish people, so they're just always angry.
I mean, goblins are constantly angry. They don't need to be Irish to be angry. Hello, Legacy. It's good you are here, for we are at the part of. Is there anything you'd like to bring up? You know, there's some broken links on the language translator, so I need to make some custom ones. Which works out, because that means I can put my own language I've been building for, like, Mahajdaroth and some other regions that I can just be like, here we go. We're just gonna put that in there.
Definitely helps for copyright reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Saves us trouble down the line.
It's true.
Yep, actual a couple important questions, but thankfully I got a bit of time to drop by in time.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello. Just waiting on that fat legacy drop of text. And by text, I mean speech. Mm-hmm. That gives me time to look up other things I might have forgotten to update people on. Oh yes, some of the patrons, specifically three of them, um, they are ones that are not currently unlocked, so I just put them to the side. The names are still listed, so people will know that those particular entities exist, just like by name alone, but they're not something that needs to be made right now, because the subclass isn't even unlocked at this point in time. They literally cannot play it. Um, Additionally, a lot of the Warlock patrons, for story reasons, tend towards a more evil alignment. So a lot of the evil clerics will probably be forming small cults under these warlocks or under these patrons. But there are definitely evil gods still. But I imagine there'll be a lot of smaller cults. Those three. Let me go grab that.
There are no cults in Bossing Say.
Yeah, I know cults. Yes. Let's see here. Oh, that's annoying. I think I go to actual page to grab it. Let's see. Scrolling down, scrolling down. The Kami patron. Just for ease for you. The Phoenix patron and the Reaper patron. Those three categories of patrons are currently locked and must be unlocked through play. And there's the listing of like the beings, the entities that fall under those patrons. Yeah. I was about to work on some of the Kami early the week, and I looked up the Warlock class. And I was like, wait, these aren't even an option right now. I just popped him into to a side little channel and marked him as a locked patron.
Well, I can see the Reaper one being unlocked quickly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Barjack is fun. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, a few of these patrons are actually previous players in my games, which is fun. Mm-hmm. Anyways. Let's see here. Let's see. While they're still typing, I do know that not this week, but I believe the following week, so 20th to 26th, my workload should be less, so I can probably get a lot more done. Though, as previously mentioned earlier, it's unlikely we'll have a meeting on the 27th. So it will probably be a decent meeting update on the 4th for me.
So basic content and updates, Crusade/Church faction is ready for an initial look over from you. I actually looked it over, and considering the current state of Eldrayan religion, I also got almost all of the categories of Tiffin filled out.
Nice.
Crusader faction is in the SAM document as the other two. Tiffin stuff, I'll send you the link later, but it's basically a religion where the worshipped deity doesn't care as much, which gave the Eldrayan church room to impose their own historical tenets on top of the newly returned deity. Next up is some questions and scheduling stuff. Perfect mention about the 27th.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. You don't have to do it now, but if you could post the link to those factions, I know it's in our DMs, but if you can post it in Firehouse, just because that's where I constantly look to see what I need to do. Or you can just give me a reminder DM and I'll mark that as unread, so I know to do it. That's the other way I know what I need to do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just scrolling through the Trello to see what we have left. It's looking like we're making solid progress. I know a few of these are really close to being finished. Mm-hmm.
It's the last link in there, yup. I'll also toss the church one and notes about that in your messages later.
Huzzah.
So questions wise, a big one I had that came up while working on these topics is in the church/deity pages. It appears there's 3 things about each one. There's the domains, which is valid cleric variants as well as sort of their basic divine categories for writing about them. Then there's the oaths, which is for paladins, but I couldn't find any information about sanctioned orders. Which class is that intended for?
That would be the Inquisitor class. Currently, there are only 3 sanctioned orders, so the list is fairly limited. But I do intend to expand and make additional sanctioned orders prior to launch, which will then I'll go through the deities and whatnot and mark which ones are available. And anyone else is free to homebrew some sanctioned orders if you feel particularly spicy. But that'd be this Inquisitor class, which is on World Anvil. And a PDF, but it's on World Anvil.
Okay, that's actually kind of perfect, because the faction has a branch/spec into Inquisitor eventually, so I'm probably going to integrate that with the class instead, maybe requiring levels in Inquisitor before being able to achieve that rank and having class-related benefits.
If you do something of that nature, I would make it so it is a branching rank, just so it's not like a class-restricted faction, which would be the case if you do have a higher up rank restricted by the Inquisitor. But there definitely would be a branch of sorts in some of these organizations, so it makes sense that they would have a Inquisitor specific branch.
It is indeed. It's 3 branches currently, which is requiring level 12 in a martial class, 12 in cleric or paladin, or 18 in charisma currently. Gonna be changing the 18 to levels in Inquisitor probably.
Mm. Very nice, very nice. Forgot I gave the Inquisitor modify memory. That seems like a mistake. It's not, but it seems like one. Bam. So don't forget to do that. Okay. Any additional notes you would like to bring up, Legacy, as I wait for you to finish your typey tabs?
Okay, next topic is meeting scheduling around the holidays. So you already mentioned that probably no meeting 27th, and yet absolutely, that's gonna be around Thanksgiving for America. Besides that, in December I'd say probably the rear 2 weeks plus first week of January, so 3 weeks of no meetings just so people don't have to cram this alongside their holiday prep. However, so we can keep things at least moving, I'm going to try and get some low maintenance work prepared for the early December meetings to give people if they want some time to work on the side, probably on the open-ended creative or mechanic writing side, so like any of the god mechanics or flavor that isn't done yet, or patrons, or some minor department preparation for the heads. On the leadership end, we'll probably do the big staff tag cleanup either during the 3-week break so people can respond anytime during that period, or after New Year's.
Yeah. Definitely. I completely forgot about the first. It is a fair point in that as well. When you were away, I did mention the 25th was also going to be a no-go week. But, definitely seems to be a 3-week break from looks of it. Yep. And that gives us, as you mentioned, plenty of time to go through and clean up the staff tags and make sure we are where we want to be. Anything else you would like to bring up? Anything else anyone else would like to bring up? Anything to note? I will also be posting in the meeting times that those particular days are canceled. So. Right. Given a chance for a response.
Last thing I wanted to bring up was checking with you Sithums and the Dolighter folks. Blackheart is here and you're here, so are the main stories ready for the regional stories? And if so, to what degree? Do they have missions written, or just the overall story arc and plans, or not fully fleshed out yet / don't have a regional main story?
Regarding Sithums, I know that their overarching plot is fairly set up right now. In terms of written missions, there's nothing, to my knowledge, within the Google Drive regarding like pre-made missions or the like. But that is not as required for this particular setup because we are working towards more of like a group dynamic continuing story rather than have a one shot that could be more like a 5-shot type of thing, which would be more beneficial for our part-time dungeon masters. But the story beats, the plot lines, potential things that can occur, those are listed out. So essentially, we have mission prompts that are made, which can tie to the campaign.
Sick. Are Logas in the same state?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I guess I know that the overarching theme is on the world app, or not world level, the Google Drive, and there should be some notes on it as well in the appropriate region corner channel.
Blackheart, how's the lighter looking on that end? Ain't major story points ready?
Most of the overarching stuff is done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Joki has most of that all written out and has it all set up for his areas, and most of the stuff that mine does is all just missions people can do. Like, they walk outside of Nordric, they can write anything they want. They get zombies, they get your generic setup for a lot of the early areas. Overall, the island's overarching story is done. As for missions, we even during setup we had people that were like, "Hey, can I make a village here? Hey, can I add this to here?" And they can. They just have to keep asking. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the core regions.
Sick.
Are
That's
set
great
up.
to hear. Regards for Baracia. Once the Crusader faction and the church details I've written up are good to go, I can also poke some thumbs to finally solidify some of the crossover story elements with regards to the mini crusade within Baracia that's involved with the story beats.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. I will put that on my docket to look them over this week, just so I do not forget to do so. On the Eldaria factions. Okay. That should be good for there. Oh, I probably should mark this. I mean, it's kind of like obvious, but just in case I'm a banana. Work on finishing the patrons. Cool. Okay. Anything else anyone would like to bring up, to discuss, to note?
Rating is still the same. We haven't really got any people. Obviously, that'll change once we start kicking up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the encounter table thing and the monsters being made, we already went over that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think we have anything for balance that we have to go over. That's not something we can't just incorporate already.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some stuff like one D&D Ranger you wanted to go over in the 2-up fighting change.
Yeah. I mean, that's still on my docket. It's not a priority.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, most of the places are already done.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of bulldoze most of that.
You know, we are very close. Very, very close.
I think that's kind of it.
Go look at the trailer again just to see if there's anything that.
Yep, I'll send you the link right after the meeting. Besides that, in general back-end work stuff, guidelines and introduction being workido and the side. After I finish up faction and church, I'll be working on cities and storyline for Eldaria next, and then more of a focus on the general back-end stuff, including finalizing the ledgers, documentation, and departments.
Very good, very good. Yeah, during break, winter break, I can definitely knock out a lot of what we have left to do. Just because I won't be dealing with work and school for that break, so I'm just we are on a very nice track to being ready. Just looking at the Trello and whatnot. All right. Anything else on your end, Legacy?
Also might work on more deity and patron stuff on the side, which is a pretty big chunk of the content we need finished up for launch at least,
Yeah.
besides all the back-end stuff. That's about it. Yup.
Very good, very good. Well, that was good meeting then. Appreciate everyone's faces, all the help you've been providing, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll call things here.